Make sure you are seated comfortably, your body relaxed. Close your eyes and focus your attention on your breath, feeling the gentle rise and fall of your lungs. Allow any tensions and worries to slip away, with each out-breath releasing all negativity. With each in-breath, draw in purifying, clean air. Slowly let all outside concerns fade away. The space around you begins to darken as your attention moves inwards. Everything fades, leaving only a quiet, peaceful darkness. You rest a moment in the darkness, feeling yourself safe and secure. The darkness spreads out in all directions, vast and silent. You rest within the great void, Ginunga Gap, the emptiness before creation, before the beginning of time and the birth of space. Within this void all things will come into being. In the very distance on either side of you, you are aware of the realms of fire and ice, so far away you can barely perceive them. Through their union, force and form will come into being and the worlds will be set in motion. It is in this place that you will meet Hagalaz. In the centre of the void you see a small light, a tiny spark of vitality. We will call the name of Hagalaz 3 times together to bring it into being. Hagalaz, Hagalaz, Through the power of your voice, the spark of light transforms, glowing the purplish grey of a heavy storm cloud and transforming into the shape of Hagalaz. It grows larger and larger, shining with power in the darkness, steadily moving towards you until it comes to a rest, waiting for you to enter. Slowly you pass through the rune and into the realm beyond. You find yourself on a beach. The sky above you is heavy with an impending storm, the sea leaden, the sand almost black. You walk to the very edge of the sea where the waves gently break upon the sand, their touch leaving it richer, glistening black as they form it into their own likeness, rippling in undulating valleys. The sky is darkening, but a single ray of sunlight breaks through the clouds, and you notice a small white pebble, smooth and perfect, lying in the shallowest water, its surface breaking through the waves as they slowly release it to the sand. You look along the beach, but this is the only one, the only mark of white upon the black sand. You wonder where the pebble has come from, and as you do so, the clouds above you release their seeds and tiny hailstones begin to fall from the sky. You stand perfectly still as their sharp, hard surfaces crackle upon the black sand and splash into the sea. You close your eyes and listen to the hail falling. The sound of individual stones is lost in their unified voice, a deep roaring which fills your ears as your own body is buffeted by the icy seeds. You let them come, releasing yourself to the will of nature. The roaring forms a picture in your mind which slowly deepens, expanding outwards into a great void of darkness that slowly suffuses into the deep blue and purple light of the birthing universe. At its centre, a white light unfurls into a whirl of stars, blooming outwards into the great void. The roaring heart of creation expands outwards into the pregnant silence of the void. You see a single piece of light break off from the centre, falling onwards into silence, a jagged rock journeying out into the darkness, its surface glittering beneath a solid crust of ice. Its long journey is lonely and peaceful as it falls on through the void, but slowly its destination hoves into view, a tiny, newly formed planet of blue and green. On it falls until, at last, it scorches through the atmosphere and down to the surface, hissing with steam as it does so, transforming in an instant from icy cold to intense heat. Its impact is so huge that shockwaves resound across the planet. A plume of smoke rises up from the impact site, darkening the skies and blotting out the sun. With that one single impact, the equilibrium of the earth is ripped asunder. The decline of countless species is set in motion. Fire and ice rise up, fighting for ascendancy and destroying all in their wake, until, eventually, a new harmony is found, a new balance. The rock itself split into countless shards as it hit the ground, each one swallowed by the earth, crushed and battered by the relentless shifting of the continents, sucked down, pressed with such force that they combine and recombine, forming new minerals as they descend. They become hotter and hotter, their forms less stable until they dissolve. Transformed by the earth's core, they melt into red heat, joining the great magma streams of the planet. Some remain churning deep below the surface, but others rise upwards, pressed again by intense forces, this time pushing upwards as the earth struggles to release the intense energies at its centre. The pressure building and building until the earth's crust gives way and shoots out of the earth as living streams of fire. Most of these streams spring up beneath the sea, ripping through the seabed, bringing crystals and solidified rock with them as they rise. Their heat slowly cools in the dark waters until they harden and grow cool. Slowly, the pull of the ocean begins its work. Great hunks of rock are torn loose and buffeted by the waves, breaking up into smaller and smaller components. Jagged stones fall to the seabed where the ocean sweeps the sand up into a frenzied dance, beating relentlessly upon the stones, smoothing their edges, rounding and polishing. Slowly the darkness of the sea is replaced by a green light reaching down from above, gently caressing the surface of a single white pebble. With a swirl of the tide, the pebble is pushed further and further up the rippling sand, the light dancing upon the foaming water above. Slowly the womb of the sea releases the pebble, and as the waves finally loosen their grasp, the pebble's smooth white surface is caught by the light. A figure stands above it, gazing down, asking of its journey, and the pebble answers. Although you have seen its journey in a flash, each moment of being stretches out into almost limitless potential. The storm has subsided, but the hailstones remain, transforming the smooth black sand of the beach into a broad strip of white, curving gently around the sea, which is also paling to a delicate grey as the sky above lightens. You stoop down and pick up the pebble, feeling the cool water and sand that clings to it. As you touch the pebble, you remember its epic journey through ice and fire, heaven and earth, land and sea. You hold the pebble in your outstretched hands, feeling a sense of reverence for all it has experienced. giving thanks that part of its journey now includes your brief meeting. At first, you think it is the sunlight catching the pebble once more, but as its white surface glows more brilliantly, you realize that this light is coming from the pebble itself, blazing forth in a growing burst of white light. At its heart, a Hagalaz rune is forming. The light grows steadily brighter, expanding outwards to encompass you. As it fills your body, it seems as if every molecule in your being is filled with light, and you are reminded that your own body and spirit have journeyed for just as long and just as far as the pebble. Every atom has its origins in the brilliant centre of the universe. Each one has journeyed and been tested in fire and ice, flowing beneath the surface and rising up to greet the sun. You have prevailed time and time again, facing every challenge, enduring every hardship, allowing yourself to be shaped and changed, embracing the transformative energy of Hagalaz. The pebble greets you as a comrade, a fellow traveller on the same journey. Slowly, the light fades and you are standing once more upon the beach, the pebble in your hand. Gently you place it back down upon the sand and bid it farewell. It too must continue its journey. Knowing that the power of Hagalaz is continuously working within you and around you, you find it easy to draw the rune in front of you. It glows in brilliant ultraviolet light. Slowly, you walk towards the Hagalaz rune and pass through it, feeling its powers caress you as you pass out of the realm of Hagalaz into darkness once more. Standing in the darkness, you give thanks to the rune for its lessons and energy. You watch as it fades away, leaving you in darkness, ready to return to your physical form. Slowly your attention returns to your body, feeling the darkness around you start to fade. You let your awareness expand to the space around you as the darkness recedes. You feel yourself centered within your body, your attention focused on your physical presence, your breath and your heartbeat. The Hagalaz rune has gone, and you begin to wiggle your toes and your fingers, bringing yourself back, becoming aware of the space around you. Take your time, and when you are ready, open your eyes. Make sure